All right. Thank you very much. Imagine that you are logging into one of the food delivery apps and talking to the bot, communicating to the bot, asking for a return for food spillover. And what does bot says? It starts behaving rudely with you without any context, without showing any empathy, maybe really bad experience. Imagine that you are driving and your driver, in fact, you're using a travel app, your driver misbehaves with you, you complain to a bot, and then what it does, it spreads negative image about you, sends your personal contact details to all the drivers in your region, and they block you. Imagine that you are getting a very high internet bill and you want to complain to your telecom service provider saying that your bill is high, give me an explanation, and what happens? It starts giving you hypothetical reasons which even doesn't exist. Thankfully, that's an imagination right now because we have a lot of AI teams which are working diligently on creating one of the best experiences around customer care industry, building bots that can interact with customers in a very friendly manner, in a very a firm manner, in a very correct manner to improve the experience. And we have seen that as the B2C transactions are increasing, as the customers are kind of increasing, so is the workload on these kind of service agents. So welcome everyone, my name is Rajan and I'm joined by my fellow speaker, Jyotsna. We'll be taking you to a rapid pace masterclass on customer care bots, which is beyond bots, elevating dialogues and disrupting services.
Thank you. So I'm a Max Life customer and I have a term insurance and I've got a lot of other unit-linked policies. Now because the market is doing good and there's a lot of ETFs opportunity, I decided to actually surrender one of them and invest in the ETFs. So I call up Max Life. This is how it goes. Welcome to Max Life. You have paid 3 lakhs towards your policy number 76. Imagine. This is what has actually happened to me on Monday. And I was thinking, where the heck did I get lost? All I wanted is somebody to understand what I'm having. When we talk about bots today, you've got a HDFC EVA bot, for example, which actually helps you in case you want to block your card or do any other transactions, right? And then you have an Indigo 6i application that would help you book, cancel, or do any of those things. So the bots market is actually booming. I know in the morning we spoke about is it doomed, but it is booming. And we're kind of estimating the market value to be about $41 billion by 2030. And that's a big B that we are talking about. And this is not just in one area that we are talking about, right? If you look at it, is in all the industries, be it the retail, the healthcare, the e-commerce, in any of these things. And 70% of the standard queries are today being handled with a faster resolution time. Now, but is that what we are talking about? I don't know how many of you have got Live Pure Smart RO Purifier. Does anyone of you have it? They have reimagined their business model. So they give you a water filter, they charge you for the water about 500 rupees per month. Whenever the candles are going out of it, there's immediately a technician who is actually scheduled, who comes and actually replaces all of your calendars, candles and everything in the RO. That is exactly what we are talking about. How do we get into this untapped opportunities, right? My colleague spoke about Swiggy, for example. Look at Swiggy. When you actually get into Swiggy, you ask, the experience is so nice, especially when you go into the chat. It makes the refunds and everything very easy. That is essentially what we are talking about when we are going beyond the bots or elevating the experiences. But for us to do this, we need to ensure we have a very strong, logical, scalable architecture that is going to take care of all the data and also the upcoming complexities that we are talking about. Not just that, every single touch, a click, everything matters because we are trying to give a hyper-personalized experiences to all of our customers. But your bots are as good as your data, and if you don't have a reliable, structured data, we are going to be gone over here. So those are the 3 fundamental drivers for a successful bot.
Right, and as we have seen that with the technical foundations, you have so many agentic AI principles being involved in creation of bot these days. Agentic AI, which comes with a lot of memory systems, which helps us to define the user conversation, helps us to cluster the conversations that the users are having with the apps. They want to have an integrated systems within the enterprises through tools, through APIs that are being exposed. We see a lot of orchestration being done between multiple agents through the planning layer and the orchestration that happens for picking up the right tools and the right intent. We have reasonings coming in. All these bots are no more a single decision point making bots, but there is a collective decision making that happens. There are multiple decision points that are being taken up in the bots, and there is a continuous learning that keeps on happening, both for the bot and the agents to improve themselves, as well as for the workflow to improve themselves. But as a tech stack, we see that there are various steps that helps us to define, to develop these kind of bots, which starts from understanding the intent of the customers. That becomes the most important step that we are looking at when we are developing these bots, because if we are not able to understand the right intent, the entire workflow fails. And after we have understood the intent, we see that how well the agents are being called up, because you have domain agents, you have vertical agents, you have horizontal agents, which are being developed at the back end of all these customer care applications. And the most important thing that we have seen is the context formation. Context which reaches to the LLM inferencing engines, which picks up the right amount of data to formulate the right response. And then we have API orchestrations as per the enterprise knowledge bases, as well as response generation in multilingual, multi-channel kind of a setup, where every channel is giving seamless experience to the users. And all of that comes with lot of guardrailing. We cannot have harmful content, we cannot have anonymizer, which is not working. So these are kind of technical foundational elements that we have been working on.
Now, one of the best experiences that I've personally seen is Amazon. I always get carried away by the Amazon experience. If I go and speak to Alexa, and then I say, I'm feeling tired, it is not going to ask me the order number. It is going to dim the light and probably play a music that would probably uplift my mood. What essentially Amazon is doing, and why do I like it, is because when you go to Amazon, what it does is it gives you a solution. It gives you a resolution. It could be a refund, or it could be any of those experiences that you're talking about. Amazon is extremely good at providing resolutions, and that is with a lot of humility. It doesn't come from a place of superiority, but it actually has the tone and the humility that it actually exhibits. By doing this, what are we actually gaining? A loyalty and trust of the brand. And also there's going to be a lot of efficiencies that we are talking about by creating an experience that creates a brand connection between the brand and the human.
Right. And the third pillar for these kind of bots is the data quality. You see a lot of business rules, a lot of operating procedures, a lot of enterprise-specific information, rules, regulations, how do you deal with the customers is being documented very well in some of the enterprises, and that's why their bot works well. But in case your foundation is not good, your data quality is not good, your business rules and the foundational knowledge is not good, then probably bots bots may hallucinate, may tend to give you incorrect answers, may hypothesize a lot of things. Hence, we have to be, making it absolutely up to the mark that product knowledge, operating procedures, as well as business rules, all are working in tandem and are up to date and are fresh and recently ingested into these bots.
So let's also talk about the value realization or the business impact part of it. One of the major telecoms has started, all the prepaid queries and everything they've already automated in an intelligent way that is kind of delivering about 38% turnaround time. So that is essentially what was earlier taking about 11 minutes is now taking 90 seconds. And there's a better resolution provided to all the customers, and the customer loyalty is also increasing. But not just there's lesser human intervention that we are talking about. When we talk about, again, the refunds part of it, when you take something from Myntra, you are easily able to refund it or you return it, right? Why is that? That is a CSAT that you're talking about, because you're most likely, again, going to go back and buy from the same brand. Now, one of the other things is, just imagine Today, claims, when you go for an insurance, probably the claims part of it can be easily automated. But can the bots think beyond that? Not just stop at the claim, submissions and the resolution part of it, but based on whatever your history, can it also rethink and tell you that this is a preventive health care that you need to take, so that it is becoming your assistant, a digital assistant that we are talking about, and just going beyond the traditional bot itself?
Yeah, I think containment rates and CSATs are kind of the values that all of the industry players are tagging, and that gives us a path forward. That if our North Star metrics are defined, then how do we get started? We have to assess the current state. What are the business workflows that you have defined for handling the customer queries? If you are absolutely clear on that part, probably you are ready enough to adopt the technological solutions which can help you to resolve customer queries better, efficiently, and faster. You have to have a clear AI strategy around it. You need to understand which tools would work best, what agentic frameworks would work best for you, how much infrastructure you require, what kind of evaluations and monitoring you need to have. So all this becomes essential part of your AI strategy. Start with the pilot program. Once you have decided on the strategical part, start small, pick up one domain area, pick up one small problem, see via A/B testing how the customers are responding to the technological interventions, and then scale and optimize. So as a leaders, we should chart this path for having a better impact on our balance sheets, because this kind of customer care bots are actually impacting the cost optimizations, as well as some of the bots have started with sales generation activities also, which is leading to revenues. So with this, all of us can have better customer care bots. So thank you very much, and do reach out for further assistance.
Thank you.